Janelle Brown admits Kody is too inconsistent for her to return. Recently, Sister Wives star Janelle Brown admits why it can't work with Kody Brown. One of the main reasons is he isn't consistent enough for her to invest in him anymore. However, she explains what made her chart her own course away from him. Janelle Brown is done. While Sister Wives star Janelle Brown has been expressing her independence away from Kody Brown, she is sharing more about the reason she is done. Certainly, she is enjoying connecting with her kids. Seemingly, Kody is willing to work things out with Janelle, but blames Cristin Brown-Woolley for tainting his reputation with her. Likewise, he even goes as far as to point fingers at Maddie Brown-Grush for spreading rumors. Although it was difficult for Janelle to decide to leave, once she closed the door, she isn't interested in returning. Janelle Brown admits Kody is too inconsistent for her to return. While Janelle Brown tries to be level-headed in her decisions, her family has always been her spot of vulnerability. Undoubtedly, Kody Brown falls into that category, but she admits he is far too inconsistent for her to consider returning. On TLC's Instagram page, Janelle Brown talks about how it is difficult for her to even think about living with Kody again. TLC captions, "Janelle's loving her new independence. #SisterWives." However, the short clip offers more insight into her reason for leaving and staying away. Initially, she addresses not being ready to enter the dating world. She says, "At this point, I'm still just not interested in dating. I was married to Kody for 30 years, and Kody is a complicated person." But then she spills about Kody. "There's a lot of like what Robin used to call the roller coaster ride, and I don't want to do that anymore. I just want to be me and do me and pursue my own things." And she is. She is making business decisions on her own and embracing her life without Kody Brown. World of possibility. Then, after Janelle Brown discusses some of the reasons Kody Brown isn't for her, she also shifts to life after plural marriage. Unmistakably, she's had a taste of freedom and she isn't turning back. She continues, "At this point, I can go to bed when I want. I can get up when I want. I can do what I want." Furthermore, as fans have seen, Janelle isn't staying in one place. "I can travel where I want." And she has. She has been jet-setting as often as possible. Additionally, she has a sigh of relief and peace saying, "Oh, I love it. It's just fun. It's easy and it's fun and it's exciting." Without a doubt, Janelle delights in her newfound independence, especially after 30 years sharing everything. She adds, "'Cause I can do what I want to do." Janelle Brown sat on the porch of her modest home, the autumn air crisp with the scent of falling leaves. The sun dipped behind the mountains, casting a golden glow on the horizon, but even the beauty of the sunset couldn't shake the heavy thoughts that weighed on her mind. She had always found solace in nature, something about the quiet, the stillness. But tonight, that tranquility felt distant. Too many thoughts swirled in her head, memories and emotions she had pushed away for too long. It had been months since she and Kody had last spoken. Real conversations, anyway. Sure, they had exchanged pleasantries, polite words spoken out of obligation, but the deep connection they once shared had long since faded. What was left was a complicated knot of history, children, and a shared life that now seemed to fray at the edges with each passing day. Janelle's phone buzzed beside her, the screen lighting up with a notification. A message from one of her kids. Her lips curled into a small, tired smile. The children were the one constant in her life, her anchor in the storm. Each of them had weathered the tumultuous relationship with Kody in their own way, but they always managed to stay connected to her. They were her reason for holding on for as long as she did. But now, even that wasn't enough. The realization had hit her slowly, like the gradual fading of the seasons. At first, she clung to hope that things with Kody would change, that the man she had once fallen in love with would re-emerge from the tangled mess of expectations, obligations, and disappointments. But it had been years since she had seen that side of him. Kody had become someone else, or perhaps he had always been that person, and she had just refused to see it. Inconsistency. That was the word that haunted her. Kody's promises, his affections, even his presence in her life had become erratic. One day he would be fully engaged, present in their relationship, making her believe they could work things out. The next, he would be distant, preoccupied with his other relationships or, worse, with his own ego. Janelle had never minded sharing Kody with the other women, at least, not in the way others might assume. Polygamy wasn't easy, but she had made peace with the complexities of it long ago. What she couldn't reconcile was Kody's inconsistency in how he treated her. There were moments, fleeting and rare, where she felt like a priority, but more often than not, she felt like an afterthought. She had given so much of herself to their marriage, to their shared life, always believing that if she just held on a little longer, things would get better. But now, sitting on that porch, watching the last light of the day disappear, she realized she had been holding on to a dream that no longer existed. The front door creaked open, and Janelle turned to see her daughter Savannah step out, her long blonde hair catching the fading sunlight. "Hey, Mom," she said softly, walking over and sitting beside her. "Hey, sweetie," Janelle replied, wrapping an arm around her daughter's shoulders. They sat in silence for a while, the quiet of the evening wrapping around them like a comforting blanket. "Are you okay?" Savannah asked after a while, her voice tentative. Janelle sighed, her heart heavy with the weight of the truth she had been avoiding. "I don't know," she admitted. "I've been thinking a lot about everything." Savannah looked at her mother, her eyes filled with concern and understanding. "About Dad?" Janelle nodded. "I just don't know if I can keep doing this, Savannah. He's too inconsistent. One day he acts like he wants to work things out, and the next, he's completely checked out. It's exhausting." Savannah didn't say anything right away, but Janelle could see the wheels turning in her daughter's mind. "You don't have to keep doing it, you know," Savannah said quietly. "You deserve to be happy, Mom." The words hit Janelle harder than she expected. It wasn't the first time someone had said that to her, but hearing it from Savannah felt different. She had spent so much of her life worrying about everyone else, about Kody, the other wives, the children, that she had forgotten to ask herself what she truly wanted. Happiness. It seemed like such a simple thing, but it had eluded her for so long. And the truth was, she wasn't happy. Not anymore. Janelle leaned back in her chair, staring up at the darkening sky. "I just don't know how to walk away," she confessed, her voice barely above a whisper. "We've built a life together, a family. It's not easy to just leave." Savannah took her mother's hand in hers, giving it a reassuring squeeze. "You don't have to make any decisions right now. But whatever you choose, we're here for you. You don't have to do this alone." Janelle felt a lump rise in her throat, a mix of gratitude and sadness washing over her. She had spent so many years trying to hold everything together, to be the strong one. But maybe it was okay to admit that she couldn't do it all on her own. As the last traces of daylight disappeared, Janelle closed her eyes, letting the cool breeze wash over her. She didn't have all the answers, and she didn't know what the future would hold. But one thing was certain, she couldn't keep living in the shadow of Kody's inconsistency. She deserved more than that. Maybe it was time to let go, time to find her own path, separate from the tangled web of emotions and obligations that had kept her tied to Kody for so long. For the first time in a long while, Janelle allowed herself to imagine a future where she was truly happy, where she didn't have to wait for someone else to decide if she was worth their time, their love. A future where she was her own priority.